If you want the truth,
you can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money! All right. Welcome, everybody. This is the Reg.A Money Show with me, Miguel Dotres, and my co-host and companion in the Reg.A industry, Ron Costa, coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada. We are Vegas strong, baby, and we're doing it right and bringing information to everybody. And as always, with me here in the studio, Ron, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Miguel. It's a great day here in Vegas. Again, it's a great day for Reg.A news and advancement, and we're all set to deliver another great episode. So I'm psyched about it.
Oh, Ron, as always. Now, listen, I want to start off the show because there's so much going on, and we got a bunch of stuff that we need to cover today. We got a question that we got to cover. We got some news on the contenders that we need to feature on our contender segment, and then we got a little bit that we want to talk about here on the emerging growth and the 5-year anniversary of the Jobs Act and the classification of emerging growth companies. So this is a very exciting time, and it's an exciting time for the entire industry, but it's also a very exciting time for us here on the Reg.A Money Show, Ron, because as our listeners know, the people that have been listening to us and have been following us, Ron, there is a litany of places that have started to syndicate the Reg.A Money Show. Tell everybody out there where we are now, all plastered everywhere. Tell them, Ron.
I'm telling you, the latest was the SoundCloud. We are on SoundCloud right now, where they have 175 million subscribers on that system, on that platform. So we're really psyched about that. And, of course, that gets back to our iHeartRadio show syndication, the iTunes, the Spreaker, the Stitcher. We're all over the place. And let's not forget the Amazon Alexa platforms. On all those devices, you can hear the Reg.A Money Show. And you know what, Miguel, it's really starting to hit hard because we're getting a lot of questions. We get a lot of people getting a lot of contacts. Some guy emailed me the other day and said that he just sat at his computer and listened to over 30 of our podcasts. Is that amazing? And I'm so psyched.
That is an education in itself right there for somebody to sit down and listen to 30 segments. That's great. And I'm glad. I'm proud of us, Ron, because we actually have 30 segments. I mean, we've been doing this longer than anybody else in the industry's been doing it, and we got 30 segments in the can, my friend.
Well, we have more than that, actually, but yeah, it's pretty impressive. It really is. It's great. So I don't know. Do you want to get to one of the user questions right now, and we'll get the. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no,
cool.
Let's do it. Let's do the users. Let's do the listeners' question. We'll do that segment, and then we'll talk a little bit about it. And then what we'll do in the second half of the show, we're going to talk about Ron, something that's very important that's come up. You know, we're almost at the 5-year point of the Jobs Act, the emerging growth company classification. You know, those companies are now growing up. They're going to be losing that little designation that they got. So, you know, we got a lot of things to talk about. But let's go ahead and talk about the question. You got the question, or you want me to read it out?
Yeah, why don't you read it out?
All right, perfect. So this question is coming from Jimmy out of Hoboken, New Jersey, and Jimmy has a very interesting question. He says, hey, guys, big fan of the show. Thanks so much for putting this information out there for all of us. My question is in regards to after the offering. Once the company has gone through the offering, which one of the bulletin boards or markets does the company, or how does the company know which board or platform to choose once they finish their offering? Well, first of all, Jimmy from Hoboken, it's a great question, Ron. And Jimmy, first of all, I want to thank you for listening and thank you for sending in your question. We really appreciate it, guys. And anybody that has a question that they want us to read here on the air, Ron and I are more than happy to bring them on here with us and kind of talk to them, because if you got that question, you got to know that somebody else out there listening has that same question, and we can answer these questions. So look, Jimmy, this is very simply stated, right? So you've gone through the entire process, right? So you've gone and you've gotten your offering qualified by the Securities and Exchange. You've gotten your investor, you've gotten your capitalization, you've got your cash, you've got your investors. Now what do? Now what options does the company have to get that next level, right? Because now you've actually created a currency for your company. And I mean some liquidity for your investors, the guys who have been hanging on for a long time that maybe came in under a 504 or came in a PPM or came through a crowdfunding a platform. Maybe you did a crowdfunding back in the day, and now you want to get everybody market. So you got two ways of looking at this, Ron. And Jimmy, the thing that I want to say to you is that, you know, the next couple of steps in the process, okay, looking at it, is you got over-the-counter bulletin board, which is OTC QB or OTC BB, okay, because there's a couple of classifications inside of the over-the-counter bulletin board. Now, the over-the-counter bulletin board is a controlled market environment by broker-dealers, you know, through the United States. These are FINRA guys that control this platform that they put, you know, bids and asks on different markets. Now, you got to do a 15C2 application. It's a 15C211 application, which gets you the symbol. And with that symbol, you can list on over-the-counter bulletin board and able to list your stock. Now, the advantage to the OTC QB is that it's a very controlled market. Now, there's only only broker-dealers participate in it for the listing aspect of it, but all type of investors can participate. So that gives you the opportunity to put your shares out there, the publicly traded shares, so investors can buy. Now, OTC QB is very limited. You know, you're still going to do all your reporting with the SEC. You're going to do all your disclosures, and your stock is going to be listed on the quotation system of the over-the-counter bulletin board. The other option that you have, okay, the listing requirements, of course, for the OTC QB are much less restricted, because when we talk about the big boards, when we talk about, like, let's say the New York Stock Exchange, you know, and the different tiers that they have the market, the MKT, they have the NASDAQ, they have a lot of different tiers. Now, in those you're going to have a lot more requirements, Ron. Jimmy, the one thing that you should look at is once your offering is done is what the actual structure of your company is. How much capital do you have? Because as you know, the New York Stock Exchange, they have their own requirements. So you got to have, like, let's say $4 million in assets. You got to have more than 300 investors. You have to have a price on your stock already. You can't go in as non-quoted price as you can do on the over-the-counter. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. But one market allows you to have a marginable security, and the other doesn't allow you to have a marginable security. Like over-the-counter bulletin board, you know, the free trading stock, you know, is controlled by the broker-dealers. And now on the big boards, you know, you can have a marginable security, so they allow you to trade on margin using your security, so that way you don't have to always, you know, sell the security to get that liquidity. So it's a very interesting question, Jimmy. You can find a lot of this information on our website. We have a story that we've written about it. It's on there. You can find it. But it's a great question, and hopefully we attach it. So really, at the end of the registration process, wherever your company is, be it assets and investor numbers and the price, okay, you're going to be able to go to market. You're going to be able to get a specialist to list you, or you're going to have to go the more traditional route, which is filing the 15C211 and then registering your stock with the over-the-counter bulletin board with a market maker, where that market maker is on the box for the first 30 days. Nobody else can trade it, and you know, but you're still being able to bring your free trading stocks to the market, which is a great thing. And hopefully that answers your question, Jimmy, and thank you so much. And so, Ron, talking about markets and talking about emerging markets and different, you know, quotation systems, that leads me into what we're going to be talking about in the second half of the show. which is the anniversary of the 5 years of the Jobs Act, but then also this emerging growth company classification that was kind of instituted when all this stuff went in. So let's take a quick break, Ron, if you don't mind. We're going to go to a break.
That sounds good.
And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about this. And then also I got some news. You know, I'm on the road again, Ron. I'm on the road. I'm going to be going to New York, to our favorite city that you and I enjoy, and I will be attending the National Investment Bankers Association, or also known as NIBA. They got their nice NIBA conference coming in on November 14th. I will be there November 13th because they have a nice little get-together prior to the conference where people come in and talk about their companies. They get about 7 to 10 minutes to feature their company, and they're there with market makers and dealers and investors, and it's just a great show, Ron. It's kind of very similar to Markham, if you guys are familiar with Markham, but we'll get into all of that when we get back. We'll take a quick break.
Yeah. Why don't we take a break?
You're listening to the Reg.A Money Show with me, Miguel Dotres, and Ron Costa, and we'll be right back, folks.